there YouTube, this is Fir1un and welcome to episode 3 I believe of Fir1un Presents. As you can see I am the red Protoss and I'm up against the blue Terran, which is called AFI Affilicity? The blue Terran. I'm up against the blue Terran. And this is going to be a shorter match than my normals, mostly because I didn't really get a decent defense up. Anyway, let's watch the match as later on. As we can see, I've actually got my UI set up in a sort of commentating type mode. You can not see the menu bar at the top, which is always a nice change, and you can see what I'm producing and what the Terran is producing. So you can see we're getting Scout out nice and early. His is slightly ahead of mine, but that shouldn't matter too much. He shouldn't manage to get the block off. In Starcraft 2, one of the main things as the Terran is blocking off your base, which is something that the blue Terran, sorry, I'm going blue Terran, something that the blue Terran does very nicely. However, he's resource capped. As you can see in the top right end of your screen, there is a little number with 11 out of 11 in blue. That's his unit count. He has 11 in total, including SCVs, which are his version of my probes, which are the units that gather resources and build things. However, because he's a Terran, sort of have to stop in order to build buildings, whilst mine just pop down a marker and there we go. Hello, building! It's gone down in about whatever the build time is. So you see he's getting the second building of his entrance. I believe they are supply depots. Yep, supply depots. And you can raise or lower them so they act like gates and walls at the same time. He's got a pretty good block off. I saw before that he was going for the block, and as a result decided to try and put down a proxy pylon in order to warp units onto that pylon and also scout out the map by going for this beacon, which I think I managed to hold there the whole of the match. But yes, I do manage to hold that for the whole of the match. But then there's the beacon going, no, there's not the beacon going down. I've just decided to leave that there. You can't see it, but apparently I've just decided to leave that there doing absolutely nothing whilst he's building barracks. This is his second barracks actually, and I'm building 2 forges in order to pump out tech tree upgrades. So I should have the +1 weapon attack speed and the +1 shield strength, which applies to all buildings and all ground units. Probably just waiting for the warp upgrade. As you can see, I'm building a cybernetics core which enables the warp upgrade to be researched. He's going for a 3rd barracks now. Seeing little aggression from me, he's deciding to go for an all-in rush with, I believe, troopers, and if he's smart we'll go for a bit of Hellion, which are basically the cars that shoot fire flame balls. He's researched the, what is that? The reactor core. He's researched a reactor core which should enable him to produce 2 units at once. So he's just going to be able to rush those out. Meanwhile, I have one zealot with no upgrades. Oh, and my proxy pylon's finally down. Not quite in the right place. I would have liked that if there was a bit of overlap onto his base, enabling me to warp units onto that little edge there. Yep, that one. But I just didn't quite get the placement off right, so that's going to be a no-go. That's a pretty rubbish placed proxy pylon. He's should be building up his army now. Yep, he's got 4 troopers on the way, and is building in a factory. Is that a factory? It's a bit small icon. Yep, that's a factory. And is also researching stim packs, which should enable him to have the burst damage to whittle down my whole, I think it's up to 2 now, my 2 defensive units. Now as you can see from what I'm doing in the top corner, there are plenty of options in the replay mode, including one to show the army. So as you can see, he has 30 units out of his 35, and I have 27 out of my 34. His army's value is 600, and mine is 325 out of 50. Basically, his army is far superior and bigger than mine. However, my macro game, my income from the minerals and the, what's it called, Vespian gas, is far higher than his. I have more harvesters, and as you can see, I'm popping down a secondary base. So he's gonna rush in with those troopers and should be able to overtake my base pretty easily, since I have four. That might just make all the difference. No, it won't. I really need a sentry out there to really force field that. In fact, I need two to force field that bridge off and pick off his troops from range. So basically I can shoot him. Oh, here we go. As you can see, he's sort of just scouting out my defences. He did quite a lot of damage, but didn't actually attack, even though he could have. He would have suffered about minimal loss, about minimal being a very specific term. And I'm just getting out my sentries now. And of course I've edited out the fact that there were sentries beforehand, so now I'm have to go back and put that in, because I'm an idiot. So realising that he's going for a very offensive rush with low units, I'm going to try and up my defence at the moment with a few sentries and finally get a sentinel out, which is basically a robot with guns. Very, very powerful against early infantry. I've also got warp gates up, so I'm at this point in the game I'm going to try and warp in a few units by the proxy pylon, which is rubbishly placed, but if I get them attacking the rock, I still may be able to get the back passage into his, as you can see, he's got a factory up, which means he will be able to produce the Hellions. He's also moved that over to a tech centre, so he's going for siege engines. Very weird strategy. I've not seen this done before. Anyway, he's set his barracks as waypoints to the middle of the field in order to back up his initial strike force. As you can see, I get the stalkers back to my proxy pylon, but they're not going to do anything there. I should have really used them for defence, looking back at this. I've got two sentinels up now, and they should be able to do heavy damage if I get the force fields up. He's got an extremely large amount of troopers out there in the middle of the field, just guarding that with his life, whilst I've still got one scout basically holding the other one. So he's got an extremely large army that may or may not, if I don't get the force fields up, eradicate my base. As you can see, I've sort of forgotten about the upgrades. They're on one side blade, one attack, +1 to attack, and haven't researched shields, which is probably not enough to hold off this attack. So here we go, he's going to go in any minute now. Nope, just deciding to keep me waiting. As you can see, I've got a Colossus up, which is basically a big badass unit which will obliterate their infantry if it gets built in time. Which from the looks of this, it won't. They're rushing in with the attack now. They should be quite decisive. He who wins or loses will be decided from this, which as you can tell, I don't. So he moves in with the siege tanks first, which is a bad move. They just get obliterated there. And the infantry come in, they're taking tons of damage. That was a bad move by that. I didn't get any force fields off, didn't manage to block them. They're gonna rush right into the main base. However, I do just about manage. There we go, there's a Colossus in time. Wipes out masses of their infantry, but it's just not quite enough. They're attacking the main base now, and there's the good game quit. It was a very close match at the end, even though I lost. And by very close I mean it was very close to me not losing, not winning obviously. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Fir1un. if you like this, comment, subscribe, and I'm sorry for not putting a video last week. I was trying to put a Diablo one up of the pony level, but that failed because the video actually went blank, which was extremely weird and annoying when you've just uploaded a video. I was also on sort of a holiday. I was with my dad, and he's got ridiculously fast internet, but I also had my laptop, which had ridiculously slow processor, so very little gaming, very little video upload opportunity. Next week I will be uploading a Portal video, so look out for that, and thanks for watching.
Wish I had a portal, wish I had a portal gun. To be an amateur science client would be like a dream. Hey yo, my brain has been craving it back since Portal hit Steam. No commute to work, I'd have a Portal Express with a blue one in my closet, orange one at my desk. When my roommate is annoying and been toying with my stuff, I'd shoot a portal underneath him and just punch him in the nuts. I'd order delivery, get it fast like DiGiorno, cause once it leaves the restaurant it goes right through a portal.